Hello folks, welcome to a weekend video. I guess it'll be another weekend video. I guess this weekend you got time to enjoy some smoke outside, and today it is actually chillier. Last night when I made the other video, which is being uploaded right now, it was actually pretty warm last night for a autumn night, but it rained all day today, and now it's a lot cooler. Yeah, it rained on and off all day long, which is nice. You know, and growing up as a kid, I always remember around Halloween is when is when it would start to get a little cool, start to get cold. I remember one Halloween, it was so cold that we had to come back home and get jackets. Anyways, so today I'll be smoking Macanudo Inspirado, and yeah, this is a really good cigar. It's a medium smoke, and I'll be using my vertical lighter. This one I got it for like $5, and it is a dual flame. This one tends, if you leave it sitting, it tends to leak the fluids. So. And I couldn't get it to light at one point, but it started working again. Yeah, now of course instead of V cutting, I decided to punch it, mainly because the last few cigars, the I guess over 10-20 minutes of smoking time, the I guess cigar started flaking off and getting into my mouth. Go. A little bit of touch up. And of course, Macanudos are not bad cigars at all. They're actually pretty darn good. Of course, verticals aren't bad. This is it's really nice. It is a really nice. Has I guess sort of a matte textured finish, so that it doesn't slip out of your hand. Like I said, a few problems at one point. I couldn't get it to light. Then it started working again. And another thing is that it does, at least mine, yours may not, but mine, if I leave it sitting for a while, it will leak. Let me see if I can get, yeah, and of course the knob that you use to turn for the flame strength is like really, it's like a thumb knob down here, but it's really really tough. Let's see here. Yep, there you go, it's not lighting again. What the heck, hold on. Yep. Let me see here. This way is positive. That's negative. Hold on. I think I turned it the wrong way. Okay. Yeah, it's not lighting again. Damn it! I think I screwed it up. Let's see here. This way is positive. Okay. So this way, counterclockwise, is positive. Alright, let's do it. There it goes. Darn it! It's not lighting again. See there. And I just filled this up before I bought it out too. Alright. Well, hopefully I don't have to touch up or relight the cigar, because I'll have to go get another lighter. Let's see here. Yeah, there's no fuel. No fuel coming out the clicker. Yeah, don't put your face too close. Yeah, the clicker's working. Yeah, I shouldn't have messed with the knob, because I was messing with the knob. Then it finally works. I think the nozzle here, the knob for the fuel. Okay, let me see. Let me close it up all the way. Okay. Okay, that's closed all the way. So now let's turn it. Okay, now it's opened all the way. Let's see. Yeah, still nothing. Darn it. I just got it to work too. Ah, screw it. Okay, cigar is still and it's burning nice and evenly too. So right, so of course my cherry tomatoes, I'm getting about 10 to 20 a day, and again I'm not waiting for them to turn red. So as soon as they start turning orange, I'm picking them. They are more sour. So if you so you just like, yeah, I don't like the sourness, then just let it ripen on your countertop until it turns red. Then you put it in the refrigerator. Yeah, it's definitely, they say it's mild, but to me it's more like, I don't know, it tastes like a light cigar. And of course, my lemongrass. So if you have lemongrass plant, if you order some or buy some, I actually bought these. I tried buying some from the store, from the Asian store. Of course, those have no root. The roots were cut off. I tried sticking it in water. I should have put some I guess clone or some grow solution into the water. They never took root. They actually started to rot in the water. So this time I said, screw, I'll just buy it, from a grower. And if you're not careful, see my hand here. You can see the slash about right here. And yes, the lemongrass will slice you. I recommend wearing gloves if you're handling them. I was moving. This was from yesterday. I didn't realize, why is my hand itchy? And it didn't hurt. It's just itchy. It's like, oh shit, man. It's like, it looks like a cat scratch, but it's actually the lemongrass plant sliced into the, I guess, the back of my hand. I didn't feel it till later. I was like, my hand itches. It's like, oh shit, man. That's like, yes, I was moving one around, and that's when I got sliced. But other than that, I don't go near them. Watering them, I got a long stem watering nozzle, which I recommend you getting. You have to bend over, water your plants. Same for any thorny plants like cucumbers. Cucumbers are their leaves and their vines. They don't have stems. I guess they got vines. Their leaves and their vines are thorny, and it will prick you. So if I don't wear gloves, it doesn't really prick me enough to be annoying. So that's local news. Yeah, my Thai chilies are coming in nice. Let's see here. Let me shake it up. No, looks like it's broke again. So maybe I'll, later on mess with the knob, purge it, refill it with fuel, and see if I get it going again. But I got like tons of other lighters. So if it doesn't work, I gotta throw it away. It's not a really big loss. I've had it for like 5 years, so it is an old lighter. So yeah, so PayPal, they're still keeping with their AUP of charging people up to $2,500 for wrong think. Even though they're losing customers left and right, they lost me. And as Yi said, or Kenyan West, now known as Yi, which is Old English for me or I. Now he said it correctly, and he said it right. Today's big companies like PayPal, they're not in business to make money. They're not in business for their customers. They're in business for a narrative, and just like their new AUP, that is a narrative. We're going to charge you $2,500 for wrong think. And what is their wrong think compared to my wrong think? It's like we might be on the same page now. 6 months down the road, they may switch up their wrong think to something else that don't match with you. Yeah, and that just shows, having everything digitally digital payments and stuff done through one person or through one company. That's an example of socialism. Everything is done through one big company, rather, and of course Big Daddy, there's, like say PayPal, and then there's, if it's socialism, Big Daddy will be behind PayPal, nudging PayPal, telling it what to do. It's probably what's happening. And you got no choice but to use PayPal. At one point, PayPal was the big dog. Like I said, technology has caught up. There are other venues. You can do all of your online bill pay through your bank now, directly to your bank account, or through your, well, if you do it, because I got somewhat where I do it through my card, which is linked to my bank account. But and of course, they was they're offering $15. Hey, we'll give you $15 if you don't leave. Please don't leave. We'll give you $15. But there's still this $2,500 charge that's hanging over your head that you could get at any time. Anything that PayPal considers misthink, wrong think. So wait, what is this $2,500 charge on my account? Well, yeah, you said something about so and so that we don't like. Oh, really? So now I owe you money just because I said so and so about something? That's basically what it comes down to. Yeah, and of course this Ukraine thing, the again, the Biden admin, NATO, they've pretty much come out and said, hey, Ukraine's not going to win. And of course, a lot of people are coming out now, even people who are considered on the woke left, are coming out and going, hey, look, you guys need to go, speak with Russia, speak with Ukraine, come to a peace deal, come to some sort of agreement, because we don't want a nuclear war. It was, I think, 2 months, it was February, March, around March or May, both Russia and Ukraine had a peace talk in Turkey. And they came to an agreement that, they actually came to an agreement in Turkey, but then the agreement was hijacked by NATO and the US. They pretty much told Ukraine, hey, don't agree to this agreement with Russia. So of course, the war continued. And of course, to NATO and to US, the military-industrial complex, they're making money, so they don't want it to stop. The elites laundering money through Ukraine. Now that it's come out that a lot of that money, a lot of that money has actually gone to ISIS. That's supposedly supposed to have gone to Ukraine. ISIS now has it. Yeah, and we all know ISIS was created by the CIA, along with Obama's blessing. See here, something just triggered. It could probably the dog. Something just triggered, or it could be the wind. Yeah, the thing with these made in China sensor light is that if the okay, it was the dog. I had some that were I guess well, actually they're all pretty cheap, but I had some that if the wind blew enough on the bushes and the bushes were moving, it will actually kick in. And so on slightly windy days like today, it will keep kicking on until the battery runs out. And that's the problem with these battery-operated lights, such as the solar, I guess the solar lawn light, the solar path lights, or the solar floodlights. They only last about 4 to 6 hours, and that's if you have a sunny day. A day like today was cloudy and rainy. They won't last but 2 hours before they go out. And yeah, and I'm looking at my lights, and they're already, the ones in the yards are already like super dim. Of course, now I got some that are plugged in, landscaping lights, and those, of course, unless electricity goes out, those stay on all night. And yeah, they look nice on the house, but they're also for security purpose. Keep weirdos from coming in and trying to hide, in your bushes and stuff. Yeah, I guess it's people outside. People outside. And like I said, I lived through the Cold War. I lived through having to duck underneath my desk when we had the, I guess, nuclear fallout drills in my elementary. Of course, they stopped doing it when we got into middle school and high school. Yeah, and I think my generation was probably the last. My generation, I guess, a few years, 4 or 5 years under me. I guess that's still my generation. We were the last to do the duck and cover. And yes, for nuclear fallout, the main thing you got to avoid is the radioactive dust, and radioactive dust being the dirt. So when a nuclear bomb goes off, all of this dirt and dust. If you watch the nuclear test channel, it's on YouTube. Nuclear test channel. If you look at the blast, you'll see all of the dust gets kicked up as the blast wave comes towards the camera. And it's that dust, that radioactive dust, that if it gets onto your skin, onto you inhale it. Through your mouth, through your nose, gets into your lung, gets through your esophagus, into your stomach. It will tear up your lung, tear up your esophagus, your stomach. Of course, the radiation will peel your skin. You don't want bugs. That's why a lot, the guys who had to go into Fukushima, they're wearing the radiation suit. Is basically to keep the radioactive dust off of their body, so that when they come out, they get hosed down by the soapy water. Yeah, that's all it is, just soapy water. The stuff, if you see the guy standing in a tub or some sort of container, and there's a guy hosing him down, it's just soapy water to get all the dust off of the suit. And of course, there was a poor guy. I guess, I don't know if that picture was of him. But he was one of the nuclear engineers who, I guess through his bravery, to keep the reactor from melting down, he actually, no suit or nothing, went in, just I guess his lab coat or whatever, and did some stuff to keep the reactor from melting down, and he literally. No, he didn't turn into the Incredible Hulk. He didn't get any superpowers. He didn't turn into a super villain or a superhero. The skin of his entire body literally melted off. They showed a picture. It could have just been a burn victim, but people are saying, yeah, that's actually him. That's the guy that's in the picture with all of his skin melting off. And of course, a few days later he died. But because of his heroism, instead of both of the reactors melting, only one reactor melted. I wouldn't want to go to the Fukushima area. And of course, if you go there, you have to either be a past resident, a current resident, or you work at Fukushima. You have to have a reason to be in that area. There are videos on YouTube of film crews 10 years going back to the Fukushima. Of course, they got their Geiger counter, and the guy, I watched the video, the guy constantly has it on. He's like, hey, and they tell him, hey, if it goes, if it starts clicking really fast, if it starts chirping, you need to leave immediately. And for him, it never did it. He's like, luckily for me, it never went past the danger mark. And there was I guess one guy, I forget his name because it's Japanese, well, he stayed there the whole time. He didn't evacuate. You know, when everybody evacuated, he stayed, and they checked him out. Doctors checked him out. He's not radioactive at all. The guy, his house is okay. His yard, the land around his house is okay. He's not radioactive. His car is not radioactive. And you know, the documentary guy was interviewing him. He's like, "Hey man, you are so lucky that you're still alive." Now, could it be a fluke that the dude hadn't dead from radiation poisoning, or radiation sickness? Could be a fluke, but or it could be because now people are coming out and saying, well, you know, actually, with radiation, whether it be radiation from a nuclear power plant or from a nuclear blast, from what I've read, is that the bombs that were dropped on Japan were nuclear fission bombs, and a nuclear fission is dirty. It doesn't use up all of the radioactive material, so that there's a lot of radioactive fallout. To where hydrogen bombs, is it nuclear fission? No, those were hydrogen bombs. They're nuclear fission, and where the basically the newer nukes that we got, they're not nuclear fission. They do, of course, I'm not a physicist or a scientist in that field. So basically, the newer nukes are a lot cleaner. That's the reason why their yields are so much higher, is because they use up all of the they use up like 99.99% of the radioactive material, so that you know, if so that, you know, of course, you know, if you get hit by the blast, you're dead. You know, or if you're in within the dead zone, which is, I guess, where the initial radioactive blast and waves would reach, yeah, you're dead. But there's supposedly little to no I guess radioactive fallout, because these newer bombs use up all of the radioactive material during the blast, so there's nothing left over. Again, that's what I read. I don't want to find out, you know, because supposedly I guess because there was I guess I guess back in the 1960s or maybe 70s, there was I guess all of the countries signed a nuclear treaty where if there's you okay, dog? Hold on. Let me go check on the animal. I'll be right back. Oh, there you are. You little puppy fell in the pool. Okay, and I'm back. Yeah, it sounded like the dog fell in the pool, but no, she was just sitting next to it. Yeah, dogs naturally swim. So if they fall in the pool, they'll naturally swim. If they fall in the deep end, they'll swim. Hopefully, swim to the shallow end where the steps are. They can get out. But of course, you know, if your dog fall in, you should definitely help them out. So that's what I've read on modern nukes, and that's the reason why their yields are so much higher. Is because, you know, there's more. There's different materials being used. And I suppose they use up all of the radioactive material. But again, there was that nuclear, I guess nuclear test agreement, where there won't be any more airburst or space. There won't be any more tests in space. No more nuclear tests in the air. None above ground. So all tests have to be done underground. And supposedly the areas in Arizona and Nevada that they popped off something like 50 nukes. That area is supposedly like still super radiated. But I guess if the dust stays, or by the time the dust reaches you, I guess there's not enough of the dust left to irradiate you, I suppose. Same thing with the Bikini Atoll. Those islands are still unlivable. There's just the radiation is still too high. And yeah, supposedly they popped up something like 20 nukes in that area. They mean us, the U.S. But again, like I said, this is like the last above ground test the U.S. did was back in the 60s. Anything after the 60s were done underground. In the 80s and 90s, there were no nuclear tests. They just used like a whole lot of TNT. Well, actually, it wasn't TNT. It was AMPHO, which is basically what is it? Ammonia and diesel fuel. So they use a whole tons and tons of it to simulate a nuclear blast and how it would affect vehicles, houses, animals. I guess on that nuclear test channel there was one video. It's a relatively new upload, so if you go there you'll see it. You don't have to scroll through all of his videos. But there was one test, and if you're around my age, you've probably seen the video of these pigs, pigs in a cage that were being basically incinerated from the nuclear blast. So the result of that test is that the pigs that had no clothes, they were burnt worse than the pigs that had clothes on, and it was just a t-shirt. It wasn't like he had like a shirt, a sweater, and a jacket on the pig. It was just a t-shirt. So the narrator was like, well, the t-shirt kept the pig with the t-shirt on wasn't survived. He didn't really survive, but he wasn't burnt as bad as the other pigs. I was like, dude, man, this t-shirt right here ain't gonna save your ass if you're at ground zero. Let me take the band off. Yeah, if you're at ground zero, yeah, t-shirt ain't gonna protect you. It's gonna be like that Terminator 2. Was the Terminator 2? That scene where Sarah Connor has a dream where the nuke pops off in LA and the nuclear blast is coming towards her, and she's at that chain link fence looking at John Connor, little John Connor playing, and then she gets incinerated. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Yes, all of these folks, all of these lefty warmongers are yelling for let's nuke Russia. Go check out that scene from Terminator 2 where Sarah Connor has that dream about LA getting nuked. Yeah, old hound dog. Well, looks like he's got to. Yeah, looks like he's got to go. Yeah, go in the yard, dog. Just clean it up later. Hey, don't go in the garden, you dumb dog. Okay. What is he? Nah, he's going in the garden. I'll just clean it up later. That's part of having dogs. You got to clean up after them in the yard. Yeah, I'd rather do it in the yard than in the house. Oh, there he goes. Oh, he's back out in the yard. You little puppy, leave him alone. Let the old hound dog poop in peace. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, and that's the thing, when trash day comes, just go around the yard, pick it up, throw it in the trash bag, specifically for the dog waste. I double bag it. I throw it out with the other trash. And that's just the thing. The same with cat. If you own a cat, you gotta clean up the. Had a cat for like 10 years. Same deal. You gotta clean up after the kitty litter. Yeah, so definitely check out that scene, and that scene is pretty accurate. When the nuclear blast wave hits you, you're going to be like Sarah Connor. Where you get burnt down to your skeleton. See if anything come up. Yeah, so there was this video that it's on TikTok, I believe, or is it on Twitter, where yeah, and all of this, if you keep up with it, the the Pfizer CEO was called before the European Union to testify. Of course, the CEO didn't go. He sent, I guess, one of his subordinates, and they asked her. It's like, did Pfizer test the COVID-19 vaccine for transmission? And she said, no, we didn't. We didn't have time to test it. And of course, there was that interview with Biden where the guy asked, hey, you dumb dogs. Dog, if you haven't finished pooping, you better stay outside. I don't want you going in the house. He's an old dog, so I give him a pass if he loses his bowel in the house. All right, you two. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's the thing with the puppy, that she, because before we got the puppy, he was, because we had to put down the female dog. He was kind of slouching around, wasn't very active. I guess with the puppy, he's playing with the puppy, jumping around. At least he's a little bit more active. Hey, you. What you doing that scrunchy? Anyways. Yeah, and there was that interview where the interviewer asked Biden, "Hey, you know that Pfizer didn't do any test on their vaccine before they put it out." Biden's response was, "Well, they tested it on 2.5 billion people." I was like, I'm watching, I'm going, wait a minute. It's not the point. The point is you're supposed to test it before you put it out. You're not supposed to test it on people. It's like, are you stupid, Biden? And yes, that's I think YouTube has the interview out there. You just gotta find it. But he literally said, yeah, they tested it. They tested it on 2.5 billion people. It's like the interview was sort of like, okay, well, I don't have an answer for that. Then saying this, the Pfizer executive that went to before the MEPs in the EU, she basically echoed what that, hey, Pfizer didn't test the vaccine for transmission, if it would protect from transmission. And of course, a lot of the lefties, a lot of the pro COVID-19 vax folks are coming out talking about, yeah, we knew from the beginning that it didn't stop from transmissions. Wait a minute, man. We had Biden saying it would stop. We had Fauci saying it would stop. We had CNN saying it would stop transmission. So now you got Pfizer saying, no, we didn't test it. We tested it on 5 billion people. And of course, the MEPs in the EU, they're asking Pfizer, hey, man, hand over your research or your paper on the vaccine. Yeah, they handed it over, but it's just like here in the U.S. There's 15 pages of all redacted, all blacked out lines. And the same thing with the other talking point of it doesn't protect from transmission, but it protects it minimizes the infection, and that's I guess it's probably the same, because everyone that I've known, including myself, who got sick around the after 2020, people who are unvaccinated, people who are vaccinated, the sick, I guess the recovery time was around the same. It was about a week. So in my case, yeah, it was about a week. Let's see here, because wife came home, she had the sickness and spread it to me. So it was about a week. I had we both had a slight fever. It didn't go above 100. Sore body, sore throat. Luckily for me, my taste buds didn't go away. But yeah, it's the same as everyone I know who's been vaccinated and got sick. It's the same. It took them about a week to recover. Slight fever, sore throat, achy body. Some folks lost their taste. You know, and luckily for my buddy, you know, his taste came back. But yeah, it's the same. It's like, okay, so from my personal experience, you know, vaccinated and unvaccinated people who ended up getting COVID had mild symptoms. And I haven't been sick since 2020. I hadn't, I've been I've been good, but of course I've been taking for like this year, 2022, I've been taking the Zelenko protocol. And basically it's vitamin D with zinc and quercetin, and you can buy it, or zinc and quercetin is in one pill, so if you don't want to take like 2 or 3 different pills. And vitamin C, just those 3 things: vitamin D, vitamin C, well, those 4 things, zinc and quercetin. And now that winter's rolling around, yeah, you may, if you stop taking them because hey, it's summertime, you know, you may want to start taking it again. Yeah, so now that all this information is coming out, you know, all those folks, you know, who were yelling at unvaccinated people, hey, go get the vaccine because, you know, go get the vaccine, you know, for other people's protection. You're killing grandma. Well, I don't know, you know, well, I know where you got your information from. You didn't get it from Pfizer. You know, I don't think Pfizer, let me see here. Yeah, I don't think Pfizer ever came out. Well, actually, they did. They did come out and say that they did. Now they may have erased that information. They did come out and say that it will protect you from transmitting the COVID if you get it, and it will protect you from getting COVID. So yeah, so lie after lie, man. You know, lie to me once. You know, okay, I'll forgive you. No, you lied to me twice. You know. Ugh. Inhale some smoke there. And yes, and that thing about nicotine, again, I don't know if it's for real, but again, I don't know if any smokers who actually came down with COVID, rather vaxxed or unvaxxed smoker, you know, and around that the year of 2020, I did. But I guess around the month where I got sick, I didn't really, because it was right after winter, and I didn't really do any cigar videos. But yeah, I mean, this one cigar is probably an equivalent of, you know, 2 to 3 cigarette nicotines. And of course, some people were trying to say, hey, you know, cigars have less nicotine. The reality is that the tobacco that cigars are made out of has the same amount of nicotine as any other. Because the thing with cigarettes is that they have nicotine added to them. That's why people are saying, hey, cigars, you know, cigar as a whole, you know, has less nicotine than let's say you smoke 3 cigarettes, you know, compared to a cigar. It's less nicotine. Cigars have less nicotine because, you know, cigarettes have nicotine infused. So nicotine, other addictive chemicals infused into them. To where cigars don't. Cigars is natural tobacco. So whatever nicotine is in the tobacco that was picked from the fields is what's in the cigar. To where, again, cigarettes, they get an extra spray of nicotine infusion. Yeah, and I said this is all natural. You can grow tobacco in your own backyard. I thought about it. You know, I thought about ordering some you know, cigar tobacco seeds. Now, you know, because you can grow like cigarette tobacco meant for cigarettes, but yeah, you can't really roll though. The leaves are different. Cigar leaves are bigger, or they're shaped differently, or something. But yeah, maybe next summer I'll order some cigar tobacco seeds, try to plant some, and give my, you know, give my hand at cigar rolling, just to see what comes of it. Now, yes, and I'll admit, my first few tries, I'll probably fail like a mofo. I'll probably go to one of these cigar meets or one of these mom and pop brick and mortar shops when they have their I guess cigar rolling demo days, and have them teach me. That way when I do, because I've watched videos after videos on YouTube of how to roll cigars, but you can watch all the videos you want, but until you actually put your hand on the leaf and try to roll it yourself, you won't know if you won't know how to do it. It's just like anything. You can watch how-to videos all you want, until you actually do it, you don't know if you can. So, well, I'll cut it here. So enjoy your smoke, enjoy your cigar, enjoy your nicotine-infused cigarettes, enjoy your weed where it's legal. I think weed is legal in pretty much all. I think weed is like legal to possess, grow in like 27 states. I know here in Texas, if you have like I think it's 1 gram or less, which is for basically for personal use. The cops won't they won't bust your ass over it. And enjoy your vape, and thanks for watching.